behind the baller. My life is more than money and jewelry. My story's so crazy, dog. I said make a movie behind the baller. I went from playing sports to exotic whips. Ain't gotta tell me, dog. I know I'm the shit behind the baller. My life is more than money and jewelry. My story's so crazy, dog. I said make a movie behind the baller. I went from music exec to this podcast. Now I finally feel at home at last. Behind the baller.
Yo, what up, everybody? You are listening to Behind the Baller podcast. This is episode 98. I am your host, Ben Baller, not Ben Humble. Yo, man, we are getting really close. Like, we are super close to episode 100. And even though right now I'm not feeling 100, I'd say I'm like 90, 93%. I'm like 93% good, but I'm always going to keep it 100 with you guys. Yo, I hope you guys are feeling great. I hope everything is good. Some very tough times ahead of us. It is getting serious as a motherfucker out there. More serious than it was 3-4 months ago. More serious than it was 5 months ago. It is very for real. I got my test results back from my CAT scan. No hemorrhage. No swelling in the brain. There's definitely a little, saw a spasm going on. That's okay. Just got to take it easy. Overwhelmed with a lot of shit. And I ain't gonna lie to you, like a lot of random people would hit me up for small jobs and stuff and things like that. And we're going to get into that in a second too, how I gotta just, I'm blessed. I gotta tell people though, yo, that's it. Like, we gotta chill. So again, I have to be completely honest with you guys. I did not want to miss the episode, a week ago, but I had no choice. So I can't guarantee you that there will be a weekend wrap up this week. I want there to be one, but I can't guarantee there's going to be one. I really need to start some yoga and some meditation and shit. It's something different. The doctor was telling me, man, he's like, look, man, you have a guy on the freeway who's working really hard. You have a guy who's selling fruits at a fruit stand, pushing the shit, sitting outside all day in the hot sun, thinking about his family, trying to feed them. You got a guy who's, let's say working construction in the heat in Las Vegas, and you got those guys. And some of these guys be pushing, even 100 hours in a week. Like, I'm dead ass serious. These people can work ridiculous hours, right? And their brains and their minds aren't causing the stress that I got. And people are like, yo, why are you stressing? You got money. It's not about that. I got so much going on. I have a storm going on in my brain. And the stress and the mental, like just the anguish that I got rolling around my brain is like 20 times that of somebody who's like a construction worker working in 100-degree heat and doing manual labor, whatever it may be. It's got nothing to do with honorable work or anything. It's just that when that person starts his job at 7 a.m. and gets off at 7 p.m., and he's worked a day and he's just busted his ass. Look, man, his job is done. That's it. He ain't got to think about shit else. That shit don't stop with me. I'm working in my sleep. I'm working the second I get up. I got shit going on all the time. So with that said, I just got to figure it out, And as of right now, I'm planning to do episode 99 this weekend. It'll be a weekend wrap up. And then obviously next Thursday would be episode 100. But if for any reason there isn't one, then episode 100 will be on the weekend. Well, I'm sorry, it'd be a Monday. It'll be the weekend wrap up, and we'll just have the most epic fan questions ever. We'll break down the year, doing 100 episodes. That's a huge milestone in podcasting, especially to do it in the consistency that I have. I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm stating a 2 + 2 = 4 fact. I still haven't decided who the guest is going to be for episode 100. I had it down a couple people, but then there's like politics and there's a lot of weird shit going on, just kind of like with this Nick Cannon situation going on. And I have like one side saying one thing, another side saying something else. But look, man, let's get into the show. So check it out, people. We are on semi-lockdown again, pretty much in Los Angeles. Don't go out unless you have to. Most businesses, like obviously my store at the Belly Center, my flagship I-Co store is closed right now. Indoor malls are closed, movie theaters, gyms, things like that. So, that fucks up my situation. Now, if we go into full lockdown, meaning essential businesses only, restaurants, hospitals, grocery stores. I'll be real with you. This country is fucked. And I'm not agreeing with Jordan Belfort or Donald Trump and saying they're right. We're fucked by default, okay? Because you stupid motherfuckers out there really still think this is political. Let me break this down to you guys for one final time, okay? Unless something insanely serious happens where we have like 75,000 deaths in like a week, I'm just exhausted talking about it. When we hit 250,000, which I hope we don't, which I know we will, I'll bring it up then. Oh, when we hit 200,000, that's a milestone, right? Which that's going to happen. But I'm going to say this. It's too late, okay? I'm not fear-mongering. I'm just being real with you guys. It's too late to stop the virus. It's too late to stop the depression. And when I say depression, I don't mean the mental depression. I'm talking about the level way past recession. I'm talking about, yes, a depression, okay? The stocks, if people know how to read stocks, when you read everything financially. Now look, some people have done very well in the last few months during the pandemic. I did pretty well. Some people have done very well. They said something like, I forgot what it was, but like 583 billionaires made some odd trillions of dollars, and it's just the rich get richer and the gap is spread and everything else. Okay, we're going to get into money in a second. I'm talking about the pandemic, the virus. This situation is fucked up. It is not a joke, okay? At this point, I have to say, we can't close down. As crazy as that sounds, right? It risks my family and everything. I just, that doesn't mean I'm going out, but I'm saying we can't close down for the sake of people who need to work and need to feed their families, right? I ain't talking about someone like me. I'm talking, even though I have a high risk son, I'm talking about others out there who have to work and they have to go out there and risk it. Now, some good news that came out is that I think my kid's school is going to go virtual. LA City Unified has said they're going to go virtual for the rest of the school year. Now, if my kid's school, which is private, if they follow LAUSD and go virtual, then we're Gucci. And to tell you the truth, I don't mind going to homeschool. It's way cheaper, but I want my kids to feel involved, and still I like my kids' school and everything, right? Now, with the Trump supporters and the Republicans and stuff, they keep talking about the survival rate. And they just keep saying, hey, there's a 99.6, there's 99.1 survival. Technically, actually, it's not true. And at the end of the day, most of you guys are saying that a lot of the cases aren't COVID. And a lot of people were saying the deaths weren't COVID. Well, again, I cleared that up in the podcast and said, look, man, there's something called the autopsy. And no insurance company is paying out anybody on autopsy if it doesn't say motherfucking COVID. So get your head out your ass, okay? Now, as far as exact stats, in Italy, I do know that it was much higher than 1%. In China, it was much higher than 1%. In New York, at a certain point, it was much higher than 1%. Some of these things got up to like 7% death rate and stuff like that, but that's not what we're talking about here. These guys are focusing on that. And it's like, it's the same mentality as, hey man, you know what? I could go buy a fucking Huracan right now. It's not that bad. It's like, I could get one for like $190,000. I can get a Lamborghini. I could fucking own a Lamborghini. And then they don't realize because they had, a 2013 S-Class, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to get I'm going to finance it, boom, whatever. And they can kind of barely make those payments. They're not thinking about what insurance is going to cost. It's going to be 3-4 times what that Benz was, way more. They're not thinking about the oil changes. They're not thinking about the service. It's going to be a bitch. They're not thinking about fucking, gas, any other maintenance they got to go on there. Insurance is the one that's going to fuck you the most. But you think about that, you're like, all right, you just think that price tag. So it's the same people with the same mentality. They're thinking the survival rate at this moment right now. We are spiking like a motherfucker. California yesterday just had 11,000 cases. They broke a record. Florida had 15,000, 17,000, broke all the motherfucking records, right? And it's like, I forgot what the number was. 160,000 cases in a day or some shit, and it's just getting stupid. So they're like, all right, they feel like they got to shut this shit down. I hope they don't. Now, again, I don't want people to die. I need people to be safe. Go out there and protect yourself. Go out there and social distance. Go out there and wear a mask. Nobody has showed me one person that was wearing an N95 mask and has died. Okay? But back to Florida, Miami has been called the epicenter now. Okay? Let's rewind a second. You keep focusing on that number, that 99% survival rate. I don't think that's what it's going to be. It could be to 97, whatever it may be. Bottom line is, we're talking 6 figures dead in America more than anything else right now. I don't want to hear shit from nobody. Stop with the bullshit. We do fact check here, okay? What the major issue is, you're looking at the death rate, and I'm looking at that too, okay? You're not thinking about it causing brain damage after, which it is now proven to, it's proven now, okay? We're talking about the permanent lung damage it does to the many people who have got pneumonia from this. The people who go on a respirator, after they get off that, guess what? They are fucked for the rest of their lives. That is as nice as I can put it. They will have that lung damage for the rest of their lives. Whether they're 20, 37, 50, 60, 80, it doesn't matter. You survived it, great. Guess what? You're going to have lung damage. Now, there's other damage too. It's so brand new, so sophisticated, so advanced, nobody knows what the fuck is going on. So to the, let's just say realistically, 50, 60% of the people that don't have any symptoms, and I think it might be even lower than that, those people, you don't know if they're the ones that have the fucking, postpartum stress and all that shit and everything else. I don't know if the brain damage, I didn't look too deep into that, just saying that. But what really fucks me up is that there's a guy who I said had got COVID, okay, was on a respirator for 21, 26 days, was in the hospital for almost 30 days. He tests negative twice in 10 days. He gets out. 3-4 weeks later, he tests positive again. Guess what? This has happened now to at least 5, 6, 7 people now that I'm seeing the cases and I'm looking at them. And now another thing too, that not just the CDC, but Johns Hopkins and a lot of other people are saying, they're saying now antibodies expire after a few months. So these people who got sick, got COVID in fucking January, February, some of these motherfuckers are fucking around and getting again now. People who got it in April, then they got over it, and by May they were good. Guess what? Now in July, some people are getting it again. Again, we do not know what the fuck this thing is capable of doing, meaning COVID-19. Okay? Look, we've already given up. Nobody gives a fuck. You guys don't. Obviously, a lot of people don't care. They just don't, period. You're wearing the mask wrong. You're putting it under your fucking nose. You're not covering your shit. You have it over your fucking head. People are just being silly. And I get it. Look, if I'm willing to drive myself crazy to be in the house, people can say what the fuck they want to. Look, man, whether I was in a fucking 700 square foot fucking, place with 5 people or being in a fucking 6,000 square foot home, man, regardless, staying inside is staying inside. It sucks. Or staying away from people. How about that? Just stay the fuck away from people. Okay? But you guys don't care. And I'm telling you, this ain't some like guessing game. There's going to be a bloodbath and it is what it is. Okay? But more importantly is you'll see if the government decides and says, fuck this, we don't want this, or whatever. I don't give a fuck if it's the Democrat side or the Republican side. I don't give a fuck who it is. Left, right, center, top, bottom. Look, we don't want to shut down. All right? If they do a shutdown, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a motherfucking civil war in this bitch. There's going to be riots and everything. It's going to be bad because a lot of you people don't understand. I took a poll yesterday and I said, how long can you guys survive? I was surprised. I ain't going to lie to you. I put, could you guys live 3+ months? Can you guys live 6 to 8 weeks? Boom. A lot of people said they can't live, another week. They're already broke. And then a lot of people put 3+ months. Now, I should have put 1 year, but I didn't have enough options. Now, I had a couple of my homies tell me they could live 2 years, a year here and there, and I was very impressed. That's a long time. It should be definitely enough to wait it out, which sucks because these are people's savings and things that they probably had for something else, not for this. But if we do go on a lockdown, understand this. There will be nothing to loot except people's homes. And you go into the wrong house, you're going to get shot. You're going to lose your life. And fucked up part is, who do I blame? I blame the government. Right now, Democrats aren't running the country. I don't give a fuck what anyone says about the House and everything like that, whatever. I'm talking about one thing, and that's an orange thing that is They call him the POTUS, the orange dick stain Donald Trump. That is who to blame, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, if you're from the birthday party, it does not matter. That is literally, look, man, I hate putting the blame game on people, but that is pretty much where we are with this right now, okay? And he doesn't want the economy to shut down, but people are just trying to save his face, even though his approval rating is just fucking terrible, and he's losing everywhere on the polls. It's already gotten bad. But again, some people are going to feel it next month. A lot of people are going to feel it by September. And I'm telling you right now, even the rich folks, they're going to feel it by December, January. Okay? The billionaires who are making money, cool, man. They had their bag. Look, this is a different time right now. This right now, what's going on with this crucial shit, and these banks are closing down, and I'm seeing a lot of things close down, a lot more bankruptcies are happening. Man, I'm telling you, a lot of billionaires are going to go back to being millionaires. And they might not be a big deal to you guys, but I'm telling you, it's going to fuck with them. And a lot of shit's just, people aren't going to be able to pay their rent, We're in a situation now that's fucked up in our mall right now, and it's like, oh, well, you guys are rich. Look at, there's big companies. We're still a very small company. There's still a very big gap between people who make millions to people who make billions, 100 millions. There's a huge gap. And then there's another huge gap from us to people who are obviously making minimum wage or whatever. So let me tell you something. I have a special guest on this show who's going to talk about credit, and that's a very fucking important thing. Credit is huge. What else is huge is downsizing your bills. All right. Even I, myself, which did not need to, I cut down unnecessary shit. All right. I basically got rid of the fat in the house, except for food and stuff. All right. And I got lean. I suggest you guys get lean too. It is a very, very important thing. Another thing too is no matter what checks I got coming in, what sponsors, Tops, autographs, fucking VVS, IF & Co., whatever the fuck it may be, okay? I have underestimated all my future earnings, period. I suggest everyone that is not on a salary-based job, if you're on a salary-based job right now and you're still getting a salary, God fucking bless you, all right? But if you are not, I would underestimate all your earnings. I would cut that shit in half. And that should put you in a little bit of fear. And that fear should drive you a little bit, should scare you a little bit and be like, all right, well, what can I do right now to hustle? No matter what the fuck it is. Am I going to make some t-shirts? Am I going to do something funny here and there? Look, man, a lot of people just don't have the drive. They don't have the motivation. It's not that difficult for you to start a website. Find something that's fucking funny. Find a funny saying. Anything can fucking, you never know. Okay? But there's always a way to hustle out there. But I'm telling you, underestimating what your future earnings are and cutting those in half and saying, all right, man, this is probably what I'm going to make here. If you're going to make 60 grand by the end of the year, be like, I'm probably going to make 30, 40,000. That's what it is. And that will cut down everything. All right. Now, I read this amazing article on Bloomberg about this billionaire and what he was thinking about the whole pandemic. And they kind of interviewed him like once a month from February all the way to almost July. And it was crazy. What he was saying was on point. People don't want to hear the shit. Poor people especially do not want to hear the shit. But you know what? It's too fucking bad. You need to hear the shit. Life is not fair. There's a lot of things that are given, and people are like, okay, I know my life sucks. I don't have it. Look, you know what? Life ain't fair. It is not. Yes, sometimes rich get richer, but at the same time, there's rich people who make bad moves. Right now, anything goes. Okay? And life ain't fair. Yes. And guess what? People who aren't doing so well, they're like, hey, man, we don't want to hear that shit. You know what? People are gathering up. They're ganging up. They're afraid. The people who are speaking up, who are protesting, they're tired. They're upset. They're hungry. They're sick of this shit, and they're scared. And you know what? There's some people who are going to survive it, and there's people who aren't going to. Straight up. And let me tell you, when I was broke, I wasn't trying to get nobody's attention that was famous. I wasn't trying to I didn't have no social media, but if I did, I wouldn't sit there and try to fucking go on Drake's page or go on fucking Kylie Jenner's page or go on any celebrity's page and try to make a funny comment, make jokes and this, that, whatever. And it's like, it's stupid. Do you know? Like, look, if you're doing really well, and when I say really well, you have no debt, you own a home, you own real estate, you have, couple cars, you have a family, and everything is taken care of. You have no issues. If you want to go out and fuck around and troll people, hey man, cool. But if you, and people say, hey, why can't you do that? It's almost the same technology. It's not the same, but what I'm saying is you shouldn't say the N-word if you're not black, right? Okay. If you're broke, you shouldn't go after a motherfucker. However the fuck he got his paper. You shouldn't go anywhere near him on some troll shit, try to clown, make fun of somebody, whatever. All that dude's goofy, that dude's a cornball, blah, blah. Everyone's fucking corny, whatever the fuck you think. No, you're corny, homie. If you out there talking shit, making fun of people, whatever, because you're too humble or whatever it may be and you're broke, dog, look, man, I'm going to tell you something real quick. You've lost at life. It ain't about being humble. It ain't about being cool. It ain't about whatever. It's about survival. Okay? You want to know what's cool? Survival. You want to know what's corny? Being broke. Period. Now, not everyone's meant to be rich. That's a whole different conversation. But again, when I was broke, I let all the givens, people are like, oh man, you can't do it. What the fuck you doing? Why are you over here? You shouldn't be over here. You can't sit with us. Why you can't go with you? What? You ain't got this. You ain't going to this club. You ain't going here. You ain't going. You know what, man? Every single thing that broke people got to deal with, I dealt with. I dealt with it so much. I dealt with the life is fair so much. I let that shit beat me in the head until it was damn near tattooed and embedded in my brain. It went deeper than the 20 layers of skin of a tattoo. It was embedded into my brain until it became nightmares, right? And those nightmares finally gave me drive, and I let it fuel me to fucking succeed no matter what the fuck. I went out and fucking jumped out a window. Boom. All right, I landed, fucked myself a little bit. As you're younger, you could take more risks. You could get more beat up. As you get older, you can't take those risks anymore. I finally turned a corner, and I started making those left turns become right turns. All right? Them fucking uphill battles, they slowly became flat ground, okay? Until shit finally became a downhill run, and I had to invest in some good brakes because it almost became too easy. I'm like, I'm fuck around and crash. I need to pump my brakes a little bit, okay? But let me tell you something. Not hearing what you want to hear, all right? This privileged ass fucking generation. Not hearing what you even think you should be hearing, or not hearing what you don't like to hear, even if that shit breaks you. Sometimes it has to break you. You gotta let it break you, okay? And then you pick yourself up and you fix yourself. One thing that you gotta fix is your motherfucking credit. So we're gonna get into that right now with my boy Ballin. And yo, Miles, man, you already know what to do, man. Yo, what's good, Lakey Lake? We'll be right back with my boy Ballin. We'll talk about this credit game. Okay, let's talk about brushing our teeth. 75% of us use old, worn out bristles that are ineffective, and even more people forget to floss daily. Good health starts with good habits. Quip makes it easy by delivering all the oral care essentials you need to brush and floss better. The Quip electric toothbrush has timed sonic vibrations with 30-second pulses to guide a dentist-recommended 2-minute routine, and there's even sized-down versions designed for kids. Paired with Quip's anti-cavity toothpaste in mint or watermelon, you get all the ingredients teeth actually need, and none they don't. Quip also has an eco-friendly refillable floss with a dispenser you keep for life, an expanding stream that helps you clean in between. Quip brush head, toothpaste, and floss refills are automatically delivered on a dentist recommended schedule every 3 months for just $5 each, and shipping is free. Join over the 3 million happy customers and practice good oral health care easily and affordably with Quip, starting at just $25. And if you go to getquip.com/baller right now, you'll get your first refill for free. That's your first refill free at getquip.com/baller. Spelled get, QUIP.com/baller. Quip, the good habits company. Yo, man, so we got a special guest on the show. I got my boy Rob here. He goes by @Ballin. Like, really, like, just like it sounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would think that it was my fucking Instagram name. Is @BALLIN on Instagram. I think, is your Twitter name @Ballin too or no?
Yeah.
And
then,
I
got all the handles on that.
Yeah, this dude is all crazy and everything else. But you know what? Like, the other day, last week, when I was talking about credit on the podcast through questions, because people were asking me, fans are asking me and stuff, me and him started chopping it up about credit. And I told him, I said, dude, I got to bring you on because you fix your shit, I fix mine, but you already have like an active person who does this. I said, man, I think my listeners can benefit from it because no one really talks about credit or credit rebuilding except for obviously me. So Rob, do me a favor, man. Tell me and my listeners exactly what it is that you do for a living and what we're here to talk about today.
Yeah, of course. So I'm a business manager for pro athletes, NFL, NHL, Major League Baseball. So, I basically push brands onto athletes, endorsements, do all that stuff, appearances and whatnot. And then besides that, obviously, you and I got to know each other about 5 or 6 years ago due to me building these massive social media handles. And like you said, you and I were chopping it up the other day and credit came up and I was like, bro, I had something on my credits and we just started chopping it up more. And that, like you said, you told me, hey, get on my show. Let's talk about credit. Because people don't teach this in schools, bro. It's like crazy. Like they teach you freaking geometry and all that stuff that you're never going to use. But why don't they? No, seriously, bro. It's like I have a finance degree, right? And I haven't used none of that shit.
No,
I'm in
bro.
social media,
I did 1 year business maybe in college because it was GE, it was mandatory. But I'm going to be honest with you. If they fucking taught the thing is, I don't think they don't have like the criteria and stuff, but if they did, it's more essential for life than anything,
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, a lot of skills, like yourself is, you learned a lot of skills being on the fly, right? Learning your craft. That's shit you can't learn in school. Same thing, with me dealing with all these athletes and stuff. Yeah, I can get a sports management degree, but how does that teach me how to reach out to an athlete? How does that teach me how to benefit it? It doesn't. And it's just like credit is like, okay, you got a degree, but how the fuck do I buy a house if I don't have credit?
This is the crazy thing. The craziest, this is how I feel. Now that you said this, it just rang a bell in my head. I think the people who've had the most fucked up credit and then got their credit good again, they know more about it than anybody. And it's a truth. I'm telling you, I know way more. Look, dude, I used to have collection agencies call my house and I was scared. I was like 18, 19 years old. I got my first credit card and I fucked them over for like $2,000. And they're like, hey, listen, we're coming over to pick up the money. And I would get scared. Dude, if some credit guy called me like 2-3 years ago when I was buying a new house, and the guy was like, because I had to clear this fucking stupid ass collection. It was like literally $318 and he was tripping. And he was like, at first, first of all, at a certain point, when it gets fucked off, you just deny it and just delete it. Do you know what I mean? You don't even try to if you try to sit there and negotiate, unless they're like, hey, listen, I'll pay this, do me a favor. If I'm going to pay this off, you have to give me a letter stating you are clearing this from all 3 bureaus. Otherwise, I'm not even going to acknowledge it. And we got into an argument. And this dude's like, why are you going to lie to me? Why don't you just tell me this is your bill? And I said, hey, check this out, bro. What are you at? 11700 Calabasas. Bro, you're about 20 minutes from me. Listen, what's going to happen. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to fuck everyone up in that office until I find out who the fuck this is on the phone, and I'm going to fuck your whole life up. Like, no, dead ass serious. Rob, it's against the law. He could have sued me. And I said, don't act. He goes, I actually know who you are. That's what he said to me. He goes, I know who you are and blah, blah. I have all your info. I was like, bro, that's great, dog. Check this out. You're really going to know who I am because I'm going to be there in 30 minutes. And I'm telling you right now, I'm coming over to fuck you up. And if you really know who I am, then do me a favor. You know how you do like the 5 people disattached from me to the next person, a relative. All right, bro, find out why is it that I've never been robbed in my entire life in LA and have walked around South Central through Crenshaw and everything with jewelry on and no one's fuck with me. All right, that's a mystery. So you're going to find out why that's happened. And I'm going to see you. And he was like, no, wait. And I was like, all right, bro. He was in a bad mood. I was like, hey, bro, It's all good. You ever talk to me like that, homie, I'm telling you, I'm going to keep this in my iPhone notes. I will fuck your whole life up. Don't start with that bullshit over some punk. It ain't worth it for your punk ass job, dog.
I would say, yeah, he probably going to get paid $20 commission. He about to get his life all fucked over.
Yeah, it's just stupid. So anyway, I know we got sidetracked. So you got
no, I definitely understand. You said you had some bullshit thing for 300. That's what got me onto this credit thing with one of my boys is because, dude, I went and bought a car like about 2 months ago, dude. And I thought everything was Gucci, right? Because I mean, like I don't check my credit or whatever, but I knew I pay my bills on time. I know that like I keep my credit cards low, to have a good credit score. Dude, they ran my credit. I wasn't even sweating. The dude came back. He's like, bro, you got a Durag on your credit report. And I said, what? And it was like for $122, bro. And I was like, oh, dude, it like seriously pissed me off. So I was like, all right, let me see what I can do. So I literally, text my boy that owns this company. And, when you talk about people think about credit is like, is it a scam? That's what, honestly, bro, that's kind of like what I thought in the past.
Well, they have access to your social security number, the snap, but at the same time, really at the end of the day, bro, it's like the Me Too movement and certain things. Like a lot of people don't want to say stupid shit. A lot of people aren't going to say the F word. They're not going to say the N word. And when I say the F word, you know what I mean? In regards to the LGBTQ and, and things like that. And people aren't going to say certain things. Look, man, yes, there's people out there that are still going to take advantage. But for the most part, if you're an accredited business, you're, registered with the Better Business Bureau and shit like that.
For sure.
You ain't got time to fucking sit and try to fuck with Robert's fucking credit. You know what I mean? And go fuck. Yeah, and get wrong. Sure. Look I'm sure I got great credit, bro. I own several multi-million-dollar properties. Bro, what people don't realize is when I got my first house, and it wasn't crazy, but it was a condo, an $81 fucking gas bill was enough to get me denied. Get my loan denied. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know how stupid this sounds? I'm putting 30% down on the house and you're going to tell me that's what, yeah, man. Because that's what people don't realize, especially that was the glory days where you don't have to show tax returns, nothing. It was the fucking wild, wild west back in the day. Once the short happened and the housing crash, oh, you're fucked.
Yeah, for sure. And think about it is again, like, I got it taken off in like 20 days, right? And I was just so excited and stuff like that. But bro, it's an access to capital. So if you think about like if you're starting a business, man, and you don't have access to capital, you're kind of fucked, and it could be like yourself, you'd be like, okay, well, I have, millions of dollars liquid and I own $20 million, dollars a year in business and stuff like that. You go get a loan. They look at your credit. They don't give a fuck what you have in the bank, bro. They look at your credit and they're like, nah.
They used to. Okay, there's a guy named Lil Duval on Instagram.
Yeah, right? Yeah, for sure.
One of his biggest things is this. He bought his house cash. He bought his second house in the Bahamas cash. And he says, look, if I can't pay for it, I'm not getting it. And look, that's a good way to live. But I'm going to be honest with you. He's an entertainer. He's a comedian. He's solo. He might have one or two people around him, an assistant, someone else. He doesn't really have to worry about, he is incorporated, don't get me wrong. But I mean is, he's not thinking about like, what I'm getting is, like if I want to go out and literally go and buy fucking 250,000 bottles of sanitizer, do you know? Like, why do I need to buy that? I can go fucking use my credit, use the credit to buy the 250,000. Now I'm going to make profit on it because I'm selling all of it, boom, and just, in the rent and setting up business, whatever the fuck it may be. And there's a lot of things. Like,
yeah, you're leveraging. You could leverage.
A lot of people they don't listen. They don't realize this. When it comes to an exotic car, people are always like, oh, you lease that shit. Let me tell you something, man. The biggest bosses in the world lease their cars. Unless they're going to make an insane profit on it, then they'll buy it, but they still lease it when they're going to flip the car because you're not paying the same tax on a lease. So it's like you don't have to worry about the tax, and especially on payoffs and things like that. You could buy the car. So I'm in and out of cars, whether I buy or lease. It just depends on what I'm doing. Now, I like the lease for the write-off too because of my business and it's my lifestyle. So it's part of my wardrobe. It's part of my my image. But look, you said 20 days. For all the BTB listeners out there, 20 days is very fast to get a derogatory. In fact, 90 days is good, okay? But 20 is
1,000%.
20 days is crazy. So you said, okay, your boy's company that does the credit repair, what are they called?
True Credit. They're called True Credit.
Okay. What makes True Credit stand out over other companies that repair credit?
Most of the companies out there, they use like out of date methods, that rarely gets results. And he was basically saying that they're familiar because they've been doing this for 11 to 12 years. So they have to be up on their game or else, because time is money for them. They don't want these guys to be in there for a long time. So, they get familiar with the current laws and the loopholes and all that stuff. And basically to take advantage of against the creditors. But a good thing is, and here's what I asked him. I said, when you get it off, because he got my Durag off, I said, when you get it off, can that come back? And he's like, no, bro. He's all, once they remove it, they seal it with the quartz, the actual fucking quartz, so it can never come back.
Nice.
So that's definitely right there makes him stand out against these other companies, man.
Nice. Okay,
yeah, that's crazy, right?
So some of these places, like, I know they charge they're like, okay, for every derogatory, they're like, okay, it's $200 for each derogatory, blah, blah, whatever. And then this, and then you have to do it this. And what they do is they run a scam. They're like, okay, well, we'll take off 5 derogatories for $1,000. And what they do is they'll do that. And then the derogatories come back in fucking 90 days. And then you're like, hey, motherfucker. And they're like, well, yeah, we told you we take it off and we didn't tell you to stay off. And I don't know, because it's been a long time. My credit's been good for a minute. But as far as fees, right? Yeah. Like fee-wise, like how do they differ compared to the other companies?
Yeah, so, glad you said that. And that's why I asked him. I said, once it's removed, like, will it come back? And then that's when he said, no, they seal it with the quartz. So their fee doesn't do like month to month, because sometimes people, I guess, do like $50 a month, like $500 down and like $50 a month.
Like $99 a month, yeah.
Yeah, and then they drag you on for 6 months, and then again something comes back, and they say, "Okay,
6 months, try 2 years, bro."
Yeah, and I'm just like, so like with them, they basically for $2,500 they'll do a full credit sweep. So basically, if you have 75 derogatories from 10-year bankruptcies, foreclosures, whatever, it doesn't matter. So, but
well, hold on, wait a second. When you say full credit sweep, please. Are you telling me that TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, all 3 bureaus?
All 3, bro, and all of those derogatories. So, like, bro, if you had a bankruptcy that didn't come off, say 15 years ago, because they're still on there, bro, dude, they'll get that off. Foreclosures. I mean, some people went through hard times, dude, and they're still sticking with that.
Yeah, but it's crippling them.
It's crippling them. But and they're afraid to buy shit, right? But the good thing is like what my boy said. I was talking to him, after you and I chopped it up. And I said, well, what can we do for, Ben's people, his listeners, because they're really active to Ben, and stuff like that. So he was basically saying, well, instead of $2,500, he'll do it for $1,000. So I'm like, it's almost a no-brainer.
Wait a second, 1,000 off or 1,000 for the whole sweep?
1,000 for the whole sweep instead of $2,500.
Okay, well, I don't want to tell you who, but I'll tell you who. I have somebody in my family who needs to get that help, and
I'll shoot you a text.
I'll pay the 1,000. I'll talk about that in a second. But you know what? It's crazy. Is I never had a bankruptcy, so that's different. You know what I mean? But my mom had a bankruptcy before. Donald Trump's had fucking 4, whatever, or 5, or whatever it is.
1,000%, yeah.
But with bankruptcies now, I just checked with a friend of mine. He's a business manager as well. And he said, hey, man, bankruptcies right now are backed up until middle of 2021 because of COVID. People are just fucked. And so it's just like it's really backed up and it's tough to get and it's hard to do. But going on, look, I'm going to be honest with you. There's some listeners out there who I ain't going to lie to you. $1,200 was a big stimulus check for you. And $2,500 for a full credit sweep sounds like a lot of money. And I'll be honest with you. When I was going through my shit, I didn't have $2,500 to pay for it, and I get it. $1,000 though, I won't lie to you, that is a fucking good deal. Now, mind you, remember, for those of you who have bad credit and don't have any money or anything else, I know this sounds far-fetched and sounds crazy, but a 750 credit score is like $100,000 in purchasing power. Like once you get that up, it's like you get your credit all good, you get a basic credit card for like $3,000 to $5,000. And then every 3 months, you bump that bitch up like another couple G's here and there. Finally, next thing you know, literally inside a year, you're going to have a credit card for $15,000. Then you go into a bank and you get a personal line of credit. There's loans, you could do other things. There's a lot of shit that you could do with this. So that $1,000 for the, first of all, I didn't even know this was going to happen. But for the behind the bar listeners, $1,000 full credit sweep is amazing. What's the average time to help? Like, what's the average run time?
Yeah, so mine got done in 20 days, but he was telling me it's about 15 to 45 days because they're running disputes, for you. And they're running, they're making sure that they're getting the right disputes to these creditors, making sure everything's falling off, making sure they're doing everything, or the creditors are reacting in time. So it's roughly about 15 to 45 days. And literally, it's like, I asked him, I said, well, how are you guys doing that so fast? And he's like, we know the laws. We know exactly what to do. We know exactly why they won't respond to us. And we just keep bombarding them with letters and letters and letters until it falls off. So, I mean, they want to get done as fast as possible so that customer can start taking advantage of, basically buying power. I mean, if you think about it, bro, this is a fucked up time we're in right now.
Man, it's the
And
worst.
it might be fucked up if you have bad credit, because if something happens, and I don't want this to happen to anybody, but if something happens and you can't leverage any buying power, like maybe to put some bills to hold you off for a month or whatever, I mean, you can get fucked, man, really bad. And I think, just think about going to buy a car, like those guys that have, bad credit and they go to buy a car, dude, they're getting like a 15% interest rate compared to like 3%. I mean, that's over 5 years, you're paying an extra like $14,000 in interest.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be bad.
I mean, look, man, not many people are very like, not just knowledgeable, but they're not like fluent when it comes to short and long-term, benefits of having good credit. But like,
right.
Look, right now is definitely the worst time to have bad credit. My personal assistant has an 800 credit score, and he had 2 credit cards that were like a $17,000 limit and a $20,000 limit. He's never had any issues. He has like 9 credit cards though. They brought down both his limits to $5,000 because of what's going on with COVID. They're scared. This is Capital One. And I was like, It's fucked up because Capital One didn't fuck with my shit. But one thing is, I know this sounds crazy as fuck. I have a very low APR on one of my cards. I have like 13% for a credit card that's super low because they're up to 30 now. And I have a $150,000 unsecured line of credit. In fact, I have had talk to the supervisors at Chase, and they've told me that they've helped 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people out on the phone through customer service in over 20 years. They said they've never heard anybody over 60. Every time they see my credit limit, they're like, wow. Now, God forbid shit was to go just real bad, right? I'm just saying, if I needed to, and I was like, all right, look, I need to buy $600 in groceries, boom. I need to start stacking here and there. I'm just saying, if I needed to pile that bitch up, I know it's terrible and the interest is high, but at least that my credit's good. I can fuck around and make on $600, my monthly payment's like fucking $6. Do you know what I'm saying? Or $60. So it's real little. So it's like, I'm saying in a destitute time, I can take advantage of that because I worked hard to get that good credit.
Right. Like I said, it's buying power.
Tell the people what your definition of like short and long-term benefits of having good credit.
For me personally, short term is obviously having buying power. I mean, as an entrepreneur, that's basically kind of what I categorize myself is, I need that good credit, and we need that good credit to be able to have a credit line to be flying from here to Florida, from doing whatever, getting in hotels, getting a nice car, right? Like you said, is like, hey, fuck it, I'll do a lease or whatever, but you have to have good credit to get that shit, or else you're paying, 8 or 9% on an automobile when you could be paying 3%,
Yeah.
And the long-term benefits is obviously, I mean, if you're going to buy a home, if you're going to, even trying to, let's say for people's kids, to try to get a loan for their college. I mean, think about it. It's like,
I've never actually had to do that before, so I don't know. So to get a loan, okay, I'm so sorry, Robert, to cut you off.
No,
I didn't know this, okay? I got a scholarship playing ball, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I didn't know they check your credit to get a fucking loan for college. I didn't know that.
Bro, they check everything. They have to do how are you going to repay it?
I thought it was just like a government thing where they had to give you the loan.
Some of these guys are going to their banks. They're going to refinance their house to pull out cash. I mean, you have to think about so the long-term benefits is, especially if you're going to buy a house, the house.
Don't go to college, kids. I'm just joking. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. Go on.
don't go to college. We'll teach you more for free, right?
I mean, seriously.
No, seriously. And that's what I always say is like, I have a finance degree. but I never learned about credit. I mean, literally didn't really learn about credit until like my late 20s. And it was pretty fucked off, because I was like, oh, whatever, that I had a credit card for, do you remember Macy's?
Of course, we talking about Macy's still around. They haven't gone. I know they're supposed to be going under, but there's still a Macy's in my mall where my store is.
Yeah, but they don't have good credit. But no, so I had a Macy's credit card for like $200, and I fucked it off. I was like, oh shit,
bro. I've had every department store credit card.
Yeah, I'm like, I'd rather go buy beer than pay off this thing. But now, look at the long term benefits. Is I have a house, I have a good interest rate, so there's definitely good credit is definitely buying power. I mean,
let me ask
just
you a question.
A normal thing. Normal things.
What's your interest rate on your house right now?
2.5.
Holy fuck me.
Yep.
So I'm about to refinance again now.
Bro, the interest rates are low.
Yeah,
with your credit,
crazy.
You're good.
And crazy thing is, bro,
if you had fucked up credit, you're probably in a jumbo loan.
Look,
well, I know you're in a jumbo loan.
Yeah.
Dude, you're looking at like 10%.
Yeah. Oh, no. I mean, I right now,
with fucked up credit.
Yeah. Right now, I'm exactly dead on like 4.01 on a $4 million loan.
Yeah.
Because I put like 2.5 down. So, but the crazy part is this, dude.
Just think if that was 8% because you had fucked up credit.
Oh no, bro. What are you talking about, bro?
Your payment would have doubled.
It'd have been $100,000 a month. Fucking my mortgage would be $100,000 a month. So going on, if realistically you said 3, and that's probably for a lower car like a Honda, Acura, certain things like that. But if you're getting like a Benz or certain things, honestly, if you get between 4 and 5%, you're in a good place. Okay, for like $100,000 plus car. Now, mind you, with Ferrari Financial, it's a private bank. It's in Italy. They run through they do the mafia shit to you. Like they really want to know what the fuck is going on. You can't give them a PO box. They literally physically need, they'll check, they'll Google map and see if there really is a physical garaging address, the whole nine. I was able to get my Ferraris at 1.7%, which is unheard of. It's not even possible.
Definitely. That's not mob money.
Yeah. So going back real quick, I'm sorry, because you said something. I know 20 days is ridiculous, but at the same time, you only had one derogatory. So my question is, was there the derogatory? Was it on all 3 bureaus? Or was it just on 1 bureau, 2 bureaus?
It was on all 3 bureaus. And if you want to hear a crazier story, is after that got taken off. So one of my buddies, I was telling him, I was like, I play soccer with him on the weekends, and I was telling him, I was like, bro, I had because he saw my new car. He's like, oh shit, you got a new car. And it's like, long story short, I told him about the credit thing, and he's like, honestly, bro, my credit's fucked up. You think they could help me? And I was like, dude, take a gander at this freaking company. So in basically 45 days, he had a 501. Anything with a 4 or 5 or a 6 isn't really good. Within 45 days, he had a 501, and it jumped to, I think, 719. They got like 27 things deleted for him. And
Jesus
one of them was,
fucking Christ.
No, bro, listen to this. He told me he was afraid to get a credit card. So he's been holding onto a credit card for like 10 years that has like a 33% interest rate.
Jesus Christ.
That's how scared he was to get shit. So now he's like, holy fuck.
Guys, let me tell you something real quick. 27 derogatories is a lot. It's really bad. Now, the worst my credit was ever was that maybe it's like a 530, which is literally awful. There's people I've seen in the 400s, but I'll tell you this. Realistically, some of you guys out there probably have like anywhere from 3 to maybe 10 or 12 derogatories. It's really bad. And a lot of places might charge you a couple $100 each derogatory, whatever. I'm going to be honest with you, man. To get 10, 20 fucking 7 derogatories taken out, it's insane. I've never even heard of actually going from a 501 to a 700 even in 6 months. So that's crazy.
It was insane. I was like, holy fuck.
So what's the website that my listeners can go to get the discount and like all that stuff? What's the code? Like, so I just need to know that so that these guys can know.
Yeah. So for your listeners, we're going to do repairtruecredit.com/Ben Baller. And they have to use that / or that discount won't come off. So it's repairtruecredit.com/Ben Baller. And if anybody has any questions or whatever, they can shoot me a DM on Instagram @Ballin. Ben already said it earlier, but
yeah.
Guys, I'm telling you, Ben and I were talking about this. Thought it was a great subject. my boy over there said he's going to give it, this discount to you guys because Ben's one of the family. So,
I mean, that's 40% off, guys. And then, by the way, I'm going to use it for a close family member who needs it. So check it out, guys. Look, man, it's not $2,500 for a full credit suite, meaning all 3 bureaus. It's $1,000 if you have fucking 35. If you're a piece of shit scumbag and you had fucked up your credit, your mom's credit, everyone, you're one of those dirtbags. Look, $1,000 to get all that shit done. I wrote it down. Website is repairtruecredit.com/Ben Baller. Yo, Rob, I really appreciate you coming on here and spitting that fucking credit game, dog. And
of course.
Miles, man, throw some music on, and you know what I'm saying, Rob, thank you again.
Yep, I'm out.
We got some Lakey Lake, and yeah, we'll be right back, guys. So, yo, man, we're back. That was some real helpful information. Again, hit up True Credit and, get your shit right. There's some things, sometimes, man, honestly, if I knew, and I starved myself many times for the wrong reasons, sometimes for the right reasons. If I knew back then that I could fix my credit and I had somebody, well, there wasn't information out there, wasn't as good as it is now. But if there's somebody I knew that could fix my credit really good and I had money to maybe eat a little better, meaning not eat fast food or whatever it is, I'm going to risk that just because I'm trying to look at the long-term situation, not the short-term. So I would spend a little money to get my credit fixed, and so that I had more spending power, I had more to fall back on just in case. Because if you're broke and you got bad credit, bro, you're just like and then at that point, it starts attacking your mental health. And if your mental health is crazy, like most people's are right now, then, what comes next? That's where suicidal thoughts come. And then people, like, oh, no, I don't want to kill myself. I still want to make it. I want to figure it out. Boom. And then you're fighting back and forth with that. And then guess what? Some small percentage of those people, they act on it. And it's just a crazy thing. And I don't want that to happen, especially to anybody who listens to this fucking podcast. Right now, the world is a hot mess. Every time I fucking log on to Twitter, there's some jokes here and there, but there's just, the timeline is just fucking a hot mess. People have the HIPAA situation all fucked up. And I'm talking about HIPAA with 1A, not 2As, okay? People think that they could go in there and fucking tell Walmart, because Walmart is requiring a mask. You could say, no, this is my Fourth Amendment right and a HIPAA violation. No, bro, you shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, because some dumbass fucking redneck, hick fucking Confederate flag holding motherfucker said that shit. That is bootleg. That's all bogus. It's bullshit. You're going to fucking end up getting your ass kicked, getting yourself possibly thrown in jail, being stupid, and then you get mad. Then you're mad because you're stupid, and then you don't want to hear anybody else out because you're so fucking dumb. And it's just that whole just circle of fucking idiocy, And I know Nick Cannon said some crazy ass shit. I didn't exactly hear the anti-Semitism shit, but he went off and I see the separation. I see the black people that are backing him, and then I see the black people who aren't backing him, and then there's just all kinds of shit going on. Dwayne Wade got in trouble for saying something. He backed up real quick and was like, look, man, there's what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And Jews have gone through an insane amount of oppression as well. They went through the fucking Holocaust, and there's other things. And I know Nick. Nick is a personal friend of mine, and it's a weird situation. He chose some words and he's battling. Look, man, I admired him for going against fucking Viacom and some enormous companies and doing this shit. I don't know if it's a battle he can win, but he made an apology now because of the anti-Semitism. Some people are like, I don't get it, blah, blah. Again, educate yourselves before you decide to do something stupid, agree with somebody stupid, or say something fucking stupid. Now, again, as much as people want Black Lives to matter, and they should, and they do, before somebody goes out there, whether you are Black, Latino, if you are Dominican, Afrocentric, whatever, you could be Mexican, anything, study up on Jewish people, okay? You got to be careful about what you're saying on anything. You want people to respect what you got going on, and you should also respect what's going on with the Jewish community and what anti-Semitism means. With that said, last couple of days, Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion have been trending. Guess what? I have something really important to tell you guys. Who gives a fuck? Huh? Why the fuck do any of you guys give a fuck what the fuck is going on at this time of all times in the pandemic right now? You guys actually give a fuck what's going on with either one of them? Now, I know more people care about what Megan Thee Stallion's doing instead of Tory, but at the end of the day, are your bills paid? That's all that should really matter. Are your bills paid? Are you eating good? Is everyone in your family eating good? If it's like, oh, well, meanwhile, shit, I might as well look at some jokes and find, no, fuck that. All the effort you guys are putting in memes and everything else, man, put that shit in something else. Put that energy into something else. Or go watch a show. Go learn something. Gives a fuck about what's, man, you guys are putting celebrities on a pedestal way too fucking high. Bitcoin's a mess. It got compromised. These guys hacked Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Apple's page. Apple has never, at Apple on Twitter, has never tweeted once, and they tweeted this fucking thing. And Kanye West, they got Elon. And they basically, the tweet was saying, hey, just because people are going through really rough times right now, on Bill Gates, Kanye, Elon Musk page, they said, why don't you send me 1,000 Bitcoins right now and I'll send you 2,000 Bitcoins back. And it was just sounded fucking crazy. Of course, it's a scam. Some people might not have known that. No one knows exactly what the total damage was, but guarantee somebody saw that shit and sent some fucking Bitcoin, which is fucking insane. But yeah, after that, Twitter decided to lock down all verified accounts. All verified accounts couldn't tweet for like 2 or 3 hours. Shit was crazy. And it's funny because I had a lot I wanted to say. But, again, the world is getting crazier and crazier. And I'm telling you, people are going to start getting antsy, start tripping out. And you know what I was thinking about with looters and stuff? Again, they're going to have to hit homes because they ain't going to hit Melrose. They ain't shit to steal anymore. Those places are all boarded up. These places ain't the same anymore. The only place you're going to be able to fucking rob someone is at the fucking grocery store. I'm not giving anybody ideas. It's just that's where it's going to get to. So people, pray that motherfuckers start wearing masks and people start being careful because I'm telling you again, we do not want to get locked down. Speaking of saving money, real quick, I talked about this on Twitter a little bit. Some people don't realize what a clear bra can do, right? And you don't want to just have any clear bra. You want to get Expel, all right? And when you put a clear bra on a nice car, meaning a car that costs, over 60 grand, 100 grand. Some of these guys have M3s and C classes that have put some money into them. They put BBS's, body kits, and they spend a lot of money on these cars. Any car that is, nice. If you clear bra the entire car, guess what? And it's going to cost a lot of money, especially you want to do ceramic coat and a clear bra. It costs money. It could cost up to 5 bands depending on what kind of car you have. Now, if you get a car wash once a week, a good car wash is going to be like maybe $50. All right. Now, if you do that times 52 weeks out of the year, it's $2,600 in 1 year. Okay. Now, if you get a decent detail is going to run about $300. You got to get one at least once a month, right? What is that? $3,600. So if you had $3,600 and $2,600 together, guess what? $6,200. You already paid for the clear bra. Now, mind you, again, what happens is, depending if you park your car inside in the garage or not, you don't have to worry about fucking getting a detail ever again. All you got to worry about is getting a wash once a week, every 2 weeks, whatever it is. You can kind of do washes yourself. It's a lot easier to maintain a car when you have ceramic coating, the clear bra. It's going to save you a lot of money. Speaking of entertainment, I ain't really watched much shit. I've been watching this documentary series called The Missing of Madeline McCann, some little 3-year-old kid, and I'm almost at the end. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Is this fucking most just terrifying shit if you're a parent, and just it's leaning towards corruption. It's leaning towards maybe the parents did it. I don't know, but it was famous. This was like 13 years ago or something. But this girl, this family from the UK, they went on vacation in Portugal, and the baby turned up missing. They're saying it was abducted and kidnapped, and it went through this whole fucking crazy fucking circus. And I don't know, man, but it's interesting as fuck. And I want to finish that bitch today. In fact, I'm going to finish today, and I'll tell you guys the rest. What else, man? You know what? One of my favorite places in all of LA. We're talking about one of the tastiest, great places. When I mentioned my food spots, my favorite spots in LA, this made the list. Squirrel, spelled Squirl. They got fucked. Now, if you just Google Squirrel, Squirl, and Anyone living in LA, I suggest you do it. This is a place that made food that was delicious. Their food was insane. I guess a year ago, very recently, they had a new ownership change and they built a secret kitchen. And in that secret kitchen, it was a kitchen that wasn't seen by the health code and by the county people who check the fucking health and services and stuff that check all the fucking, they give you the grade, give you the A, B, or C, whatever. And somehow they were able to bypass it. And one thing about Squirrel that's really good is they have a really good jam. They have a really good jam, like jelly. And there was mold in it. Then there was rodents and rats and roaches and all kinds of shit. It's just, you have to read this shit. It's fucking insane. Especially again, because this is a place that is fucking, like their food is phenomenal. And now I'm kind of like, fuck, I wonder. Well, this obviously might fucking get their shit in gear now. You know, speaking of that, they're like on some cancel culture shit. Now, speaking of which, there's this page called Diet Prada, right? On Instagram, and they're like freedom fighters. They fight the good fight. They'll call out all big brands, whether it be Vogue magazine, fucking, you know, call out, whether it be Prada, Kim Kardashian. They love calling Kim out. They call any big brand that they call Off-White out. It's like, you know what, part of it, it's like, you know, it's kind of cool, but not as part of it. It's like, yo, you guys are some chicken shit motherfuckers, man. You guys are still hiding behind a fucking, you know, a fake ass fucking picture and nothing else. You know what? If you're on that real bold shit, man, you're out there trying to expose people, why don't you expose yourself? That shit is just corny as fuck. And I'm not defending anything. I went to deep dive, and I've seen a lot of people tagging me and DMing me about my friend Emily Oberg. Emily was on episode 7, I believe, of the podcast. And I have my own little issues with Emily here and there. And she may seem pretentious and things like that. And I wasn't a very big fan of the name of the brand that she wears. And, you know, I've supported her. She's been cool. But she's under a lot of heat. And if you go to this page, Not Sporty Rich or Not Sporty and Rich Part 2, or just Google Emily Oberg, you'll fucking see. That whole cancel culture shit is just crazy. And I don't think she's thinking about it so much. But where cancel culture needs to work is when, imagine this. Imagine you are a bean farmer, okay? Especially in today's day and age, right? You're a bean farmer. And then you see the competition, your competition in the bean game being promoted by Dick Stain, Donald Trump's daughter. Could you fucking imagine? By the way, I just realized it's actually against the law. She broke some kind of federal violation for campaigning or some shit for somebody who has publicly, openly supported the Trump campaign, which is Goya. And by the way, Goya is a fucking phenomenal brand. They is seasoning their black beans. I've been eating this shit for almost 20 years. When I worked for Denzel Washington at his Jamaican restaurant, where do you think the beans are from? Goya. And they make fucking, this is an enormous, huge brand. The CEO of this company decided to back Trump. And then after all the cancel culture, everything, he's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm still backing Trump, blah, blah, whatever the fuck it was. Look, man, then you got this stupid ass bitch, Ivanka, promoting the fucking beans. And you got fucking Donald Trump like a fucking idiot. Bro, you're the president of the United States of America. You tweet something up to like 300, 400 times a day. That's including retweets. What the fuck are you doing? Are you joking me right now? You're putting fucking Goya. You don't have better things to do? You're the president of this country. If anybody, like, you can't lead shit by example. It is fucking crazy. But just imagine you're that bean farmer. You're out there. You're worried about your employees catching COVID, you shutting down, and you see Ivanka Trump post your competition, like, and do it illegally. It's just so fucking stupid, and people are so fucking dumb. It pains me. Lastly, as you saw probably a couple days ago, Russell Westbrook tested positive for COVID. And then, a couple other players, some people have opted out. Look, the bubble's there. I don't even know if basketball is going to happen. People think it is. I actually now, I'm really curious. I don't know if it's going to happen now. Again, especially with the situation with, the antibodies only lasting a certain time. Who fucking knows? This shit is really crazy. Now, I want to see sports. At the same time, I want us to get back to normal, I went to the bank this morning before this episode is recorded. And I went to the bank. And you know what? The bank was, everyone's wearing masks. They're only, they're closing both entrances. I mean, they only have one entrance open. And it's like, what the fuck? And there's some people who really have bullshit masks still that don't get it. And it's just scary. So what I'm getting at is I don't know how the fuck this is going to work out. Baseball is supposed to set to happen regardless. They are open. Next week is opening week. And it's supposed to be set. I don't fucking know. I talked to my boy Jock Peterson. He's like, yeah, it's on. It's lit. The Dodgers are selling seats, okay? Virtual seats, meaning they will print out a picture of your face and put them in the stands. I guess the money goes to either the Dodger Foundation or some shit. I don't fucking know. I might fuck around and do it. I don't know. I might put a face. I might put the Ben Baller fucking cartoon logo. I don't know. Last but not least, I should be dropping my cards next week. I'm not positive. These are my autograph cards. I'm sorry, I'm Cal Ripken. I'm not exactly sure, but for 100% sure, next Wednesday on July 22nd, I'm dropping my Don Mattingly, and I'm going to do a recap of all the 8 cards prior to that. That is card number 9. We're almost halfway through Project 2020. But yeah, Don Mattingly is coming up. And pretty much that is it. Look, guys, if you want to be featured on episode 100, if I were you, I would start leaving questions now. Go to the iOS Apple Podcast homepage for Behind the Baller. Leave a 5-star review. Leave a real question, something that hasn't been said in the show. We've had a lot of episodes. I will answer the question on the show if it is worthy. My man Jordan Winter, one half of the Dust Brothers, will be doing his damn thing. And again, I want to do a weekend wrap up this weekend. So if I don't answer it on episode 100 and that ends up being a Thursday episode, then I'll answer it after this weekend, which will be Monday on episode 99. I do want to do an episode for the weekend this week, but I'm not sure. My doctor wants me to take it easy. I love you guys. That is it for today's episode. Thank you very much. Again, please keep continuing to spread the good word of BTB. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Remember, this is available on every single platform. Everywhere you listen to podcasts, this is where it's at. We even got a YouTube page where you can listen to it on YouTube. Wherever the fuck you want to do, it's all good. Always remember, this is not your practice life. And Uncle Ben, a.k.a. Tito Ben, loves you. All right? Yo, Lakey Lake, man. What's good, bro? You test positive for COVID? No, I'm fucking with you, man. Lakey Lake, a.k.a. LL, a.k.a. at Lakey Inspired. Take us home, bro.